Live with me here in the studios, we have got Laura Montoya. Hello. And Laura, um, let's see. There seems to me that there's something that you're doing here across the oh yeah, that's right. You're running for state treasurer.
Yes. Making history.
Making history. You said if it, when not if, but when you win, it would
Yes.
be the first female state treasurer for the state of New Mexico, correct?
Yes, absolutely. And the first Latina in the United States history.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, that is surprising. I'm surprised that hasn't happened yet. But tell us about yourself a little bit and why you're running for state treasurer. What brings you to that political end?
Well, thank you, Gino, for having me. I really
Oh, no, not a
appreciate it.
problem.
So I have 23 years of government experience. I started at the federal level for U.S. Senator Jeff Bingaman,
Mhm.
and then I went to the state level, worked in the House and the Senate, learned a lot, listened with the intent to understand. And then later on, I worked at the state treasurer's office under Douglas Minch Brown, helped with the transition to Treasurer James B. Lewis, and then went to the county level, was told, you need to run for county treasurer. And I was like, no, I like being in the backside, getting things done. And I ran. Sandoval County is a microcosm of the whole state. It has more native land than anywhere else in New Mexico, 7 pueblos and 3 Navajo chapters.
Mhm.
It has unincorporated villages, towns, and of course the city of Rio Rancho. And I won there for 2 terms, and I just finished my term December of 2020. And I decided that I wanted to run for state treasurer, go back to that office and tell everyone at the schools when I go visit them that they can now see a reflection of themselves. And no matter what's going on in their world, if they dream big enough and they work hard enough and have good work ethic, they can be whatever they want to be.
Oh, wow. Well, and that is true, I think, for everyone. But that's really cool. You really do have a lot of experience. You said, I'm going to talk about my experience. I'm going like, well, okay. But yeah, that is a lot of experience, particularly in the treasurer's offices for county and in the background, like you said, in the state and stuff. So yeah,
Yes.
that's a whole lot of experience that'll go in there.
I managed over $1.3 billion at a 99.37% collection rate. I invested over $40 million and I had about $50 million in non-property tax revenue. We had 5 clean audits in the treasurer's office. And the last year I was there, the whole county had a clean audit. So for those finance gurus and nerds out there, that's impressive.
That is pretty impressive to go through an audit with a nice clean audit. Yeah, I've not been quite through that rigorous of a thing like that, but when you go through a few things, like yeah, they always find something. But when you get the nice clean audit, that is a good thing. So
Teamwork.
yeah, absolutely. Well, when you got a good team,
Yes.
absolutely. And of course, you are going around the state, and you've got several events that are coming up, so people can get to know you and know what you're all about, right?
Yes. So your Doña Ana County treasurer is my treasurer for my campaign, Eric Rodriguez. And we are going to be having a full day of events, but at 5 o'clock, we're going to be at the Bosque Brewery on Telsher. And we figured it's Friday, right before Labor Day. You know, maybe people will come by it that wouldn't normally attend something that's very political and just come by and say hi, have a drink and say hello and see why I'm running and who I am. Hopefully that will encourage them to get out there and vote in November.
Absolutely. And yeah, before you know it, that's going to come up real quick right here.
It's here.
I
Early
mean,
voting's already in October.
I know, exactly. So we're about, but just about 2 months away from everything because today is the 2nd. So just a little over 2 months away. But
Yes.
that's going to come up quick right here when we have to start thinking about that. And you would encourage, obviously, everybody to go out and vote, whoever it is. Just get out there and vote. But
Yes,
of course,
have your voice be heard.
absolutely. I like to tell people that you can't complain about things if you didn't vote.
Absolutely. I agree with you.
Yeah. Getting in there and voting gives you the right to complain about things later. So
yes,
get out there.
Holding people accountable.
Absolutely, absolutely, holding people accountable. And of course, so you probably have a few more events coming up like that. Is there? Where can we go to go ahead and keep up with everything that you're doing, Laura?
So my website is Laura Montoya, 4nm.com. I would love to hear from you. My phone number's on there, my email. I'm very accessible. So I have been traveling. I've been doing a Rural Communities Matter tour. I hit 13 counties in 4 days here in the South this last week. And this weekend, I'll be predominantly in the Las Cruces area. I am going to go to the Hatch Chili Festival. I'm very excited to be there because I have never been. I'm mostly in the north prior to this race. So I'm so excited about the new relationships that I'm gaining and the things I'm learning about the South. So it's been a beautiful experience.
That's right. Well, we're pretty nice people here in the South.
Oh,
We're
yes.
we're pretty chill. So, but the more you get around, the more next thing you know, you're gonna like, maybe the South's not a bad place maybe still to spend a little bit more time in. But
I enjoyed the Aggies game the other day.
did you go to the first game on
I
Saturday?
did.
I know you didn't go to the one last night because that one was in Minnesota.
No, I went to the Hope opening game.
You did.
Yes.
I did go to the one last night, and I just flew in, and my arms are tired. So I did just fly in, and I am tired, but it was worth the trip. So Laura, yeah, check out the website, which once again that is Laura Montoya 4, the number 4, nm.com, and you're going to get a lot of information about that. You even have a nice little video explaining how you do things, and of course you have your nice picture.
Yes.
You mentioned everybody says you don't look like a picture.
Yes. A lot of people don't know what the treasure does. Can I just tell you that it's 5
Absolutely.
simple functions?
Just five. You can break it down to 5.
5.
Okay.
Protect the money, collect it, invest it, distribute it, and report it. That's the transparency and accountability side. So I've been doing that for forever. Now, on the other side of it, if you're a state employee and you have public education retirement, that's important because I'll be on that board. ERB, if you're an educator, educational retirement, the State Investment Council, that's where they get to have a higher risk in that investment portfolio. There's $15 billion in the treasurer's office that we need to invest. And there's a local government investment pool that is incorporated with tribal, counties, cities, and schools. And so I really want to bridge that gap with the rural areas and make sure we have an outreach person that is letting those different entities know how much we would want to be a partner with them, help them get a better rate of return, and then help them to diversify their portfolios so that they can then make a little bit more money for the services and needs that our people have in our different parts of the state.
Yeah, actually, I'm glad you brought up those 5 different words. I'm glad you brought up the different aspects of the treasurer's office, because most of the time when they think of the treasurer's office, they think about you're just spending money or you're collecting money. No, there's a lot that goes on in and around it, and a lot of the investments you have do affect a lot of state employees or city employees, because that is investments in their retirement. And when that grows and you get to that retirement age, you're going to go like, man, Laura's a pretty cool person for getting me that, right? Yeah.
Yes.
So that is one of those things. And once again, you're headed out to the Bosque this afternoon, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll be in Anthony this early afternoon, and then I'll be at the Bosque Brewery at 5:00 for people to come and visit with me. I hope you'll take an opportunity to just say hello, even if it's a quick stop by. I really want to encourage everyone to come out and vote. We only had 25% of voters that were registered vote in the primary. I want to increase that. As someone who's going to be the first Latina in the United States history, I want Latinos to come out and vote too. They have not been voting, and it's important that you do. Representation should reflect all of us, our values, and I want you to see that my values are very similar to yours. My parents have been married for 46 years, and I'm the oldest. They say I'm the bossiest. I believe them.
Me too.
but
I'm also the favorite, but that's beside the point.
I say that all the time, daddy's girl and mama's girl. But they taught me the value of hard work and the value of a dollar. Everyone in a small community like Las Vegas is similar to everywhere else in the state. You have to work together to make ends meet, and you have to trade, and you have to use each other's skills so that you can be successful for your kids and for your family and for your community. And that's the type of life that I grew up knowing, is that it took a village to raise me. And it wasn't only my parents, but it was my family and it was my community that really made me dream bigger than what maybe life told us we could do. And being able to travel and serve people and travel our state and see how beautiful our state is. I super love New Mexico. That's why I put the heart on here. Did you see that?
I did notice that. Yeah.
The love of New Mexico really goes through my veins. And so I want people to be proud of where we're from and know that we have opportunity to strive and to be able to bridge that gap of inequity in rural areas, and also between the rich and the poor.
Absolutely. And like I said, one of the best ways to go about that, well, first off, get out there and vote. Second, get to know your candidates. You know, you're going to
Yes.
be out and about in all these different places. Stop by. I'm sure you are not opposed to anybody coming up and asking you questions to
Nope.
understand what it is that you do, what the treasurer does, what you want to do with the treasurer's office. So get out there, ask questions, get to know the candidates, because that's how you're going to make an informed decision on what you're going to do when you hit that ballot box.
Absolutely. Gino, did you know that New Mexico is 47th in financial literacy?
Um, I want to say that I'm surprised, but
We do not have financial literacy in our schools. So a
mm-mm,
lot of us have been working really hard. Many people know Willie Madrid out here. He's a state legislator who's
mhm.
been working on that. A couple of others from the Albuquerque area. When we have financial literacy in our schools, just the simple concepts of how to balance a checkbook, what's the difference between a fixed rate and a variable rate. We just fought predatory lending, so at least that's taken out of the equation. But being able to set families up, so if you decide after high school you want to go to NMSU, or you want to go to the trades, or you want to build and raise a family and go straight into the workforce, you should have a certain set of skills in your toolbox to help you be successful and have that good, healthy relationship with your finances, so that you can diversify income, you can be able to save money, you can be able to get a better wage for the services that you provide to the state. So
Mhm.
for me, financial literacy is a really key component. It's outside of the state treasurer's duties and obligations by constitution, but in my heart, I really want to bridge that gap by being able to help push it through education as well.
And that might be giving away my age a little bit here, as if the gray hairs didn't do it. But I remember taking a high school class. And part of our English class was a lot of those things that I want to say basic skills, but sometimes it
Life
doesn't seem
skills.
like, yeah, basic life skills, like filling out an employment application, filling
Hmm.
out getting a resume ready, balancing a checkbook, taking a look at your finances, taking a look at all of those things right there. It's actually because of that class that
Yeah.
I memorized my social security number, so that it's one of the numbers that is always stuck in my head because of
Hmm.
that. But those are skills that the kids need these days. And you're right, they're not going through those. When my son went through high school, I don't think he even understood what a checkbook was.
Yes.
So it's one of those
Or
things.
why
So,
your credit
or
is so important.
why yeah, exactly, why your credit is impacted by even some of these smaller things that are going to go in through there. But yeah, that is a great way, and I would encourage everybody to bridge that gap. On the education side, work with the state treasurer to bridge that gap. I'm just saying, throwing it out there,
Please.
throwing it out there. But absolutely, thanks, Laura, for stopping by and letting us know a little bit about you. And like I said, get out there, know your candidates. Laura's going to be out and about, and I'm sure it's not going to be the first time that you're going to come back down here to Las Cruces.
Yes.
So when she is out there, ask questions, get to know her, and that way you can make that decision at the ballot box when it comes time to vote. And thanks a lot, Laura. Don't forget the website, which is
Laura Montoya 4nm.com.
there you go. You picked up on my cue perfectly. Thanks a lot, Laura, for stopping by. And once again, everybody, get out there, say hi to Laura, ask questions, and get to know her, because that's the best way that you're going to know if you're going to say, "Yeah, I want Laura as a state treasurer." Thanks a
Yay.
lot for coming in.
Thank you.